The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. Really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. I think it's possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. You want to have a future where you're expecting things to be better, not one where you're expecting things to be worse. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. The reality is, if you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. Great companies are built on great products. Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. If you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, life and your job is gonna be quite miserable. Optimism, pessimism, FCK that. We're going to make it happen. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. Rockets are cool. There's no getting around that. The key to making things affordable is design and technology improvements, as well as scale. You need to live in a way where you're always taking risks. Life is too short for long-term regrets. When you're building a company, you have to be incredibly focused and work as hard as you can. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done